Yo, what's up, guys? In today's video, I'm going to be talking about a bunch of Chicago Bulls NBA draft news and rumors and how the Bulls are now expected to make a move or a trade in this upcoming NBA draft. But before I jump into today's video, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Also, leave a quick like below today's video. It takes a second and it helps me out a lot. And some comments and questions below today's video about all the draft prospects, games I'm going to break down in today's video, the news and rumors that just came out, and what you guys want and expect the Chicago Bulls to do in this upcoming draft. You know, the NBA draft is about less than 2 weeks away. Let me just first off say I'm very excited. Also, check out my last video if you guys missed it. I was talking about a bunch of Chicago Bulls updates, how Patrick Williams was working out with DeMar DeRozan. And speaking of the NBA draft, there has been some rumors about how the Bulls could trade their draft pick. I touched on that whole topic in my last video, but in today's video, I'm really going to deep dive into it and break it down. So let's just jump right into today's video, because huge shout out to Daniel Greenberg for putting this tweet out. And this tweet came out just about a few days ago. And according to Jeremy Woe, there are NBA teams that expect the Chicago Bulls to explore trade options with their 18th overall draft pick in this upcoming draft. And let me just first off give my opinion on it. This doesn't surprise me. I mean, this Bulls front office is very aggressive. Look what they've done in just the past 1 to 2 years. And especially with all the Rudy Gobert trade rumors that have been coming out, I've seen some rumors and some Bulls fans talk about how the Bulls could package this draft pick for Rudy Gobert. And I know there's some Bulls fans that say like the Bulls can't trade this draft pick, and it's very simple. The Utah Jazz just tell the Bulls what player they want them to draft with the 18th overall draft pick, and then he gets traded to that team. So it's pretty simple. Essentially, they still can trade that draft pick. And I know there's also been a lot of talk about how the Bulls could buy a second-round draft pick. And in my opinion, if the Bulls make any moves on draft night, I would expect them to just keep their 18th overall draft pick and maybe buy a second rounder. It may say a draft prospect that they really like does fall, or someone they just liked hits the second round. Let me know your thoughts below today's video about the Bulls' rumors about trading their 18th overall draft pick, maybe for Rudy Gobert for a win now move, or maybe just keeping the draft pick and buying a second rounder. If I had to bet money on it, I wouldn't surprise me if the Bulls did buy a second rounder, because just the other day, Casey Johnson was on the Bulls Talk podcast, and he was obviously talking about this upcoming NBA draft. And Casey Johnson did say, I can see them buying a second round draft pick if there's somebody that they like. And then after that, he did say how he doesn't see how the Bulls would be able to trade their 18th overall draft pick and kind of trade down for 2 first rounders or something like that. You know, I really don't expect them to trade up or trade down. That would really surprise me. But buying a second round draft pick, I feel like that's the most important move, and I feel like that's the more likely move. I mean, huge shout out to Hoops Hype for putting this out. They put out an article keeping track of every NBA draft prospect the Bulls have worked out. And to keep it short and simple, the Chicago Bulls have worked out more second round draft prospects than first round. I'll make sure to throw up all the picture. You know, I've broke down a few of these games in past videos. Definitely check out those videos. And I know due to the Lonzo Ball situation that did happen last offseason, the Bulls are expected to lose their next available NBA draft pick, or the second rounder, I mean. So I know there's a lot of Bulls fans that have been confused on this whole situation, and a Bulls insider did break this down and cover this whole situation. And they said that the Bulls can, I'd say, buy a second rounder in this upcoming draft. And that's huge news, because the Bulls won't lose their second rounder, say they do buy it, because the statement from the NBA was that the Chicago Bulls would forfeit their next second available second round draft pick. But the picks now have been set for this upcoming draft, and they can no longer impact this year's draft if they were to add a second rounder. You know, this has been confirmed by others around the NBA, and that's huge, because I mean, look at what the Bulls did in the second round of the NBA draft just last year, drafting Io, an instant role player that honestly started a bunch of games for the Chicago Bulls with their point guard injuries and mess that they had this season. And a second round draft prospect that the Chicago Bulls have recently had a workout with and really like a lot is Javon Freeman-Liberty. You know, just the other day, Daniel Greenberg put out a tweet saying how he had a workout with the Chicago Bulls. And Freeman-Liberty is a guard, and he played college basketball at DePaul University. And Arturis attended several of his games this past season, and he's a big fan of his game. It wouldn't surprise me if the Bulls did buy a second rounder and draft him. You know, I do feel like the Bulls might need to add some point guard help, depending on the whole Lonzo Ball injury situation that's been a mess for months now. But either way, Freeman-Liberty is a 6'4" point guard. He does weigh 180 pounds. You know, he is projected anywhere from a second rounder to undrafted. The Bulls have been working out a lot of second round draft prospects. And to keep it short and simple, you know, he's an agile, skilled combo guard that played at Valparaiso before later transferring to DePaul. And he can also score the basketball in a lot of ways. I feel like if the Bulls do trade Coby White, I know there's been some rumors that just came out about how the Bulls are expected to put him on on the trade block and trade him. I made a video just the other day about how a Bulls insider expects the Bulls to trade him, but I feel like he would be a good Coby White, I'd say, replacement. He can score the basketball in a lot of ways. He will need to show that he can, I'd say, truly run the point guard position and also knock down shots on a consistent basis. He's currently expected to be a second-round draft prospect. His whole game sounds a lot like Coby White, and if the Bulls could get him in the second rounder, he'd be a lot cheaper than Coby White. I feel like he's a good replacement for Coby if the Bulls do decide to trade him. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on the Bulls possibly buying a second rounder for Javon Freeman-Liberty. And, you know, in today's video, I've been talking about a lot of second-round draft prospects, but the Bulls did have a workout with a first-rounder that's expected to be around where the Chicago Bulls are drafting, and his name is Marjon Beauchamp, and the Chicago Bulls did have a workout with him just the other day, and last season, he did play in the G League, and the Bulls have already interviewed him and attended his pro day in LA also. You know, I know a lot of NBA fans and some Bulls fans are really high on him. I mean, he is a 6'6", I'd say, shooting guard or small forward. He does weigh 185 pounds. Like I did say, he did play for the G League last year, and he's projected anywhere from a mid to a late first-round draft pick, and that's exactly where the Bulls are expected to be picking. And to keep it short and simple, he's a very athletic, skilled swingman that's projected to be a mid to late first-round draft prospect. He is a very versatile scorer that can shoot and score the basketball in many ways. And he is a big-time athlete that can get plenty of steals and blocks in games. He will need to improve his outside shot and playmaking skills, but he is a very talented prospect that has the skills to be a solid role player in the NBA. And I know the Bulls mainly need big man help, but, you know, I really like this draft prospect. I feel like he could be that small forward that the Bulls have been kind of missing off the Bulls bench that can just add more scoring in many ways. He's also a very solid defender, a very good athlete that can get a lot of steals. He's super lengthy and get some blocks off the Bulls bench. You know, there's been a lot of trade rumors that have been coming out, so definitely check out all my past videos. I've broke down the Rudy Gobert situation, honestly, for weeks now, giving my whole opinion on that. It wouldn't surprise me if the Bulls did make a draft day trade for Rudy Gobert, but at the same time, the Bulls front office and the Bulls core do expect them to kind of just run it back and kind of just add 3-and-D shooters around them and just small pieces here and there. If I had to guess or bet any money, I'd expect the Bulls to just keep their 18th overall draft pick and draft a solid player that can help this Bulls team win now. It wouldn't surprise me if the Bulls did buy a second rounder. I mean, Casey Johnson said how he could see it even happening. I'd be happy with that, drafting a nice prospect that could help out with this Bulls roster on day one, and then maybe drafting like a project in the second round or a backup point guard or a backup center. Either way, let me know your thoughts and opinions on these rumors and all the draft prospects games I broke down in today's video. Thank you guys for watching today's video and all the love on the channel and the past few videos. Thank you guys for watching today's video. Have a good one.